what are the main components that you're focusing on that would create the desire in people to do this job?
The desire for people to do this job, I would say, like the experience that they'll gain from the position, the income that they can, possibly earn, other reasons that they would want to do it. It just seems like it's like, the flexibility, a good like environment for them. And, if they know people on the team, kind of just like a friendly environment that, like other people on the team.
Cool. Are you showing the video interview or are you doing the in-person interview?
The video interview.
Okay. All right. So, before the interview and after the interview, are you adding any of your own 2 cents?
Oh yeah. We have like a full script for it. Yeah. Like that Ryan gave us, like before the video plays, like with the group, and then after the video plays, like with the group, and then of course the pre and the post.
Okay, so how much, like if you're thinking about percentages, what percentage of the time are you spending talking about experience, income, and flexibility? Those are the 3 things that most people, like when I ask this question, they say those 3 things. So what percent of the time are you spending on each one of those?
In regards to like from the whole group setting, or including the pre and like the post?
Entire interview.
The entire interview? Probably, if I were to guess, anywhere from 20 to 30%, if I were to guess. Like, I don't know that exact number off the top of my head.
Well, I meant like, are you focusing more on experience than income? Are you focusing more on income than experience? Are you focusing on flexibility most?
Experience, definitely the most.
Okay, and when you talk about experience, what do you say? Like, give me your lowdown of how you would sell me on the interview about the experience I'm getting at Vector.
Okay. I think we talk about how like so we talk about the 3 things that, you like the most about starting here, and then it talks about the experience. Hey, I guess one last thing that I gained and all of our reps gained from the experience here is the experience. Now, I know it's kind of, you might not, recognize it now, but, the more you, I don't have it like word for word memorized right now, but it talks about how the DECA award, it talks about the 9 universities that uses it as like marketing classes, how we're in, a bunch of different college textbooks, all the skills that you gain, like the communication skills, like resume building skills, team building, goal setting. I can pull it up for you because I don't have that full blurb like memorized.
No, it's okay. The reason why I'm asking this question is because a lot of people are running into an issue with really low shows to training. And part of me believes that the reason why this is the case is because they're focusing too much of their time on the income and the flexibility, not enough of their time on the experience, and they're not selling the experience the right way. So in today's economy, it's a really great economy, right? Like people are doing pretty decently well, and that affects our shows because there's 1 of 2 things happening. 1, parents are doing well enough that they're like, their kids don't need a job this summer. 2, there's ample amounts of jobs out there, and with the minimum wage continuously rising, hold on 1 second. Oh, Carson, I'm just gonna finish up with John here. So you can either stay on or you can jump off and jump back on it. Yeah, perfect, thank you. So with minimum wage rising, people are finding jobs that are like paying $12, $13, $14, $15, $16 an hour. So what's your base pay?
$18.50.
So right, so $18.50 isn't as appealing as it once was. So we have to think about, okay, what really separates vector marketing from all other jobs out there? Like if a kid can get a lifeguarding job for $15 an hour, where they get to sit out in the sun and it's guaranteed 8 hours a day, what is it about vector that really separates them?
Yeah, the experience.
The experience, right. But we have to look at how we're selling the experience.
Okay.
Because these 18-year-olds, they're not thinking about their resume, but they should be. And so maybe it's painting the picture for them like, hey, listen, guys, I realize that, at 18 years old, like you're not really thinking about your resume. I wasn't thinking about my resume at that age either, 18, 19 years old. Maybe when you're 20, you're starting to think about your resume. 21, you're definitely thinking about it. By 22, you're like, oh my God, I hope it's good because this is the time when you start to apply for jobs. So the reality is with vector marketing is that we are an experience-based company in the sense of we build your experience for you. So whereas most companies, they look for the experience first, we take unexperienced people and we give them the experience. We are a stepping stone company. We take 18, 19, 20-year-olds who the only prior experience that they have is lifeguarding, babysitting, waitressing, or working as a caddy. And we give them the experience that can make their resume stand out so far amongst their peers by the age of 22 that when they're going out to apply for jobs post-grad, they're getting every job that they're applying for. And rather than praying that companies are calling them, they actually have to tell companies to stop calling them because their resume is that good. Now, again, I realize that at 18, 19 years old, this is not a concern of yours. But I'd rather have people that want to be proactive about their success than reactive. And so what I'm going to be looking for in this interview are people who genuinely want to build a resume that sets them apart from their peers, and they want to start doing that now because they've got their future success in mind. So I'm going to share with you some of the reasons why the experience at Vector is so great and some of the reasons why Vector on a resume is looked at with the highest regard. But I want you to remember that the choice you make today is going to affect who you are at 22, 23 years old. So when I'm looking at the choice you make today and the choice I make today could affect who you are at 22 and 23 years old. So when we're going through this interview, I really want you to think about being proactive about your success and taking the time to build the skills now that are going to separate from your peers later. And then that's a really great segue into the video, because at the end of the video, there's that question of like, how do you think Vector is going to apply, or like what skills are you going to learn that apply to your future? And then you can use that question as like the crux of your post interview. And you can say, now, as I mentioned, I'm looking for people who are proactive about their success, not reactive. I'm looking for people who take advantage of opportunities that are in front of them because they know it's going to be beneficial to their future. So let's talk right now about how you really feel like Vector can be beneficial to your future.
Okay.
And you have them sell you on it.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see how that shift could be really helpful?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Do you feel like you're doing any of that right now?
I think I'm doing like a way dumbed down version of that. That's kind of how I feel. It's just like a paragraph blurb, and then versus really diving in and just hammering it, because we do that after right before we give them the acceptance criteria sheets.
Yeah. So I think setting it up, beginning of like, listen, guys, like, I realize that at 18, 19 years old, you might not be thinking about your resume. Some of you might be, and that's awesome. And I love to see that. 20-year-olds, you might be thinking about your resume. 21, you're definitely thinking about your resume. 22, you're like, oh my God, I hope my resume is good enough to get me this job. And so then you kind of segue into that. So what I'm going to do, John, because I think what I just said was helpful, I'm going to, once I'm done all these calls, I'm going to go back to this recording and cut down to that one section I just talked to you about, like the blurb. That way, if you liked it, you can script it out and add it to your interview like as soon as possible.